So this is activity 1.3.2, making holes in CAD. One feature that you will see in CAD models would be holes. And you should know by now that there are different types of holes. You could define holes based on how far it goes through a material. You have a through hole if the hole extends completely through a component, and then a blind hole if it partially goes through a component. And then you could also classify them based on the top part of the hole. You could have it a simple hole where the diameter of the hole is uniform all throughout, or you could have a counterbore or a countersink. The difference is in a counterbore, if you look at a cross section, you'll see that it has this rectangular cavity, while in a countersink, you have something that is inclined just like this. This is to accommodate screws or bolts that have a counterbore or a countersunk type of heads. Okay, so let's review reading hole notes before we CAD this. Let's say I have a rectangular block that's 3 inches high and then 2 inches deep, and all of the holes are, one of the center of the hole is located 1 inch away from the far edge, and then each hole is about an inch away from each other. So as you can see, this one is 1 inch from this left side, the next one is 2 inches from the left side, 3 inches from the left side, and then the last one is 4 inches to the left side. And then the actual block is 5 inches wide. Now let's go to the hole notes. So for the first hole, it says here that the diameter of the hole is 1/2 inch, 0.5, and it goes down 3 inches, which is the height of the block. So this is a simple through hole. All right, so the next one, let's take a look at the next one. The next one, based on this simple, it's a counter bore with a diameter of 0.75, and then that counter bore goes down by 0.5 or 1/2 inch. Okay, and then the hole below it is 0.375 in diameter, and then it goes down by 2 inches. So you're looking at this as its cross section. So this is a counterbored hole, and it goes down 2 inches deep. Okay, so that's the total depth. And then 1/2 inch of that would be the depth of the counterbore. Okay, next one is a countersunk hole with the diameter of the countersink at the top is 1 inch, and then it has an angle of 82 degrees. And then the hole below it would be 0.25, 1/4 inch in diameter, and then it goes down by 2.25. And the last one is a counterbore, and the diameter of the counterbore is 0.75, and then its depth is 0.63, or it got rounded off, but we'll use 0.625. Okay, 0.625 for its depth. And then below it, you'll see that the remaining part of the hole is 1/2 inch, and then the total depth of the hole is 3 inches. So the total depth right here is 3 inches. So let's model this at this point. Okay, start a new sketch on the bottom plane, and then use a center rectangle. And then the depth of the center rectangle would be 2 inches, and then the length would be 5 inches. Press enter, finish your sketch, and then extrude it by 3 inches. Okay, so here's our rectangular block. And instead of you making a sketch on top and then creating circles, what you do is you use the whole feature. So click on the whole feature and then click on the top surface. And then now you'll see that there are some options here for you to select. The first one would be, it says you've selected the face, which is this surface. Next is you need to define 2 reference points. The first reference would be this edge, and then the hole is 1 inch away from this edge, or you could use the other edge also. And then the other reference point will be from this edge, which we will define as 1 inch as well. Okay, and then the first hole is a simple hole. So there's 3 types of hole here. You got your counter bore, your countersink, and your simple. So select simple. And then extent of this, it says in the hole note is 3 inches down, which is the depth or the height of this block. So I'm going to say all. And so it'll define it as 3 inches. So it says all here, or you could type 3 inches here. And then the diameter is 1/2 inch, which is already 1/2 inch here. So I don't need to make the change anymore. And that's it for this. So let's click OK. And we got the very first hole done. Next, let's create the second hole. So click here and then click on the surface to select it. Reference, I could start here as my first reference, and this is 2 inches away from that edge. And then I could choose the next one and then say 1 inch. So I've done the references. Now for the distance, this is actually a blind hole, so I'm not going to select any of the other options. The hole type is a counter bore. Okay, so as you can see, all the options showed up. And then here is the diameter of the counter bore, which is 0.75, which is already inputted right here. So I don't have to type that. But if yours is different, just type 0.75. And then the depth of the counter bore, which is this part right here, the depth is 2 or 0.5. So the depth is 1/2 inch, 0.5. So 1/2 inch. And then I'll go now to the total depth of the hole. And it says here the total depth of the hole is 2 inches. So let me change this part right here. 2 inches. And let's see, I got counter bore, I got hole tap type is simple. Hole tap type is if you create threads on the inside, you could choose tapped and you'll see that there'll be some threads, but we're just doing simple holes, no threading. So let me just review again. We got 2 inches deep with a diameter of 0.375, which I haven't changed yet. So I'll change this to 0.375. And then this is an angled, the tip when you use a drill to create this hole, the tip of the drill is pointed, so the drill point would be pointed as well. Okay, so let me bring in, so I'm doing the second one. So as you can see, 0.375 goes here. and then 2 inches, which is the total height, would go here. And then the counter bore is 0.75, and then the depth of the counter bore is 0.5. Okay, so let me move this out. I click OK, and then it will do that change. Okay, then would be, let's click on the hole. So let me move this here. I think it's better that way. So I'm doing this hole right now. So hole, and then click here. And for this type of hole, let's do the reference again. So it's 1 inch away from here. And then for the second reference, that would be 3 inches. Okay, so this is a countersink with 1 inch in diameter. So I'm going to choose countersink, and then the diameter of countersink is 1 inch, which is what I have already here. If you don't have that, just type 1 and type 1. Okay, so I got that done with an 82-degree angle right here. And then the diameter of the rest of the hole is 0.25 with a depth of 2.25. So the diameter right here is 0.25. So let's change that to 0.25 and a depth of 2.25. Okay, so let's compare again. So 0.25 goes here, 2.25 goes up here, 1 inch in diameter for the countersink with an 82-degree. And then if I look at the bottom is also angled. And so I'm just going to choose angle right there. Click OK. And that one's done. Let's create the last hole. Okay, the last hole would be this. It's a counter bore. So let's select here again. Click on the surface. Select this reference here, 1 inch. And then click select, and then select that reference. That would be 4 inches. And now it's a counter bore. And for this counter bore, the diameter is 0.75 and it goes down 0.625. So 0.75, and then it goes down 0.625, 0.625. And then let's see for the rest of the whole note, it says it's 1/2 inch and then it goes through. Okay, so I'll go through all, and then this one would be 1/2 inch. Okay, so let's compare once more. I have 0.5 down here, and it goes through 3 inches of material, which is through all the material. And then 0.75 for the counter bore, and then 0.625. Instead of 0.63, just put 0.625. Click OK. So now that you've done that, you want to see the section view. So click on inspect and then look where it says section analysis. Click on the front surface, push back 1/2 inch, negative 0.5 inches. Or I'm sorry, you go back 1 inch because this is 2 inches deep. So go back negative 0.1. Click OK. Now you could see the cross section of your model. And if you compare this with that, with this one round down here, you'll see that it's very similar. Okay, so the next thing is just put it back in isometric. How do you hide the section view analysis. So right here, another folder was created. And as you can see, it says there's section 1, which you could rename if you want to, but let's just leave it like that. And then the I will hide it if you want to hide it. Okay, but let's turn that on and then go ahead and export this work as an F3D file. Let's name this. This is making holes in CAD. Actually, go save that first. Save that, put it into the location you want to put it in your IED folder, making holes in CAD. Save, and then actually just share the file link. Share file link. Okay, copy that link and submit that link so I could see it. And that's it for this work.